Welcome to the Grief Series. The series is good for anyone on their grief journey, or if you're somebody that is supporting somebody on their journey. Today is episode 5. We're going to talk about anniversaries, birthdays, and angelversaries. Anytime any of these dates come up, these special dates, they're tough. You know, we kind of brace ourselves sometimes, and there comes like this heavier baggage anticipating these special dates. And I don't say special dates like as if they are a good thing, because even my brother's death day, I consider it a special date just because it's something that's engraved in our mind, and it's something that's special and significant to us specifically and all of our other loved ones that are still here. And so that's just why I say it's a special date, regardless if it's good or not the best date like our loved one's death date. And with these dates, maybe anniversaries are going to apply to you, or maybe they won't. Or if it's an anniversary, not like a significant other, but maybe it's something that you went on this great vacation with your loved one, and there was just this date that you remember, and it's kind of like an anniversary. Then there's the birthdays. We all have our loved ones' birthdays that come up every year. May's typically a tough month because it's not only my brother's birthday, there's Mother's Day, there's Father's Days right after, and then also it's Memorial Day. And him being a veteran and a Marine, Memorial Day is also another date that is very significant for me and my family. And I say typically with May because and I'll go back to why I said typically May is a tough time for me because of all of those specific dates, but I'll touch on that in a little bit. Another one for me is typically it would be August because that's his death date month, I guess you could say. And then also mine and my sister's birthday. And so those are significant dates that kind of come into play. And one common question that I've heard from so many people, I've had the same exact questions. I've asked friends, I've reached out to others to kind of figure out, what do you do when these anniversaries and these birthdays and these angelversaries or death dates come up? What do you do at that? And, you could look up, I'm kind of laughing because some of them I don't agree with, but you could look up on Google of tips on anniversaries and grief. And some of them are really good tips, planning, fantastic. But there's also one that says plan a distraction. I don't agree with that so much as to their intention on what Google is saying is plan a distraction, because we don't want to take that with a bad intention of we need to not remember this date and we need a distraction to forget us feeling sad or feeling however we feel, because it's going to be a little messy around those dates. It's going to be uncontrollable emotions sometimes. We kind of don't know what we're going to get. And even that can cause us some anxiety beforehand. At least I know it does for me, is I'm usually bracing myself and already thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to feel on that date? And this is month before, days before, and I anticipate how am I actually going to feel on that date. So I don't think that you should plan a distraction to pull you away from how you actually feel, but I do agree with planning for something. I literally like to honor my brother during these times because no matter what, it's going to be sucky. And regardless, I'm going to be sad and probably a little bit more sad or a little bit more in the dumps on those specific dates or around them. But I still like to honor him and do something enjoyable. So he really liked to play pool. And so the first birthday that came up for him that he wasn't here was weird, and it's uncomfortable because he's not aging anymore. But me and my husband went out and we played pool and drank a beer and just talked about him and just thought about him and all of that, just to honor him and something that he enjoyed. And I even like to do that for his death day, or what I like to call an angelversary. I like to reminisce about him and share about him and honor him in any way that I possibly can, and not look at it as such a horrible day, because regardless, it was a traumatic day, and I am trying to redefine that date instead of having it attached to such a horrible event. And that's just where I'm at. I hope to encourage others to get to that point in their journey, but I wouldn't say that's how you have to approach those days right off the bat, and that's where you should be. That's not what I'm saying. That's just where I'm at in my grief, but I hope to inspire you guys to get to that point. It's freeing, and it's so much more enjoyable. And I'm just coming from that place because I know how I have anticipated and braced myself for these dates, even months before. I'm already thinking, oh gosh, this is coming up in a few months. What am I going to do? But I do like to plan just to have something in place. Like, yeah, what are we going to do? Like, I don't want to plan for feeling terrible, but like, I want to have a plan of enjoyment. Like, let's plan for something fun to do, or let's plan something with friends or family or something like that. And I've heard that from other people when I've reached out initially, is they like to honor their loved one. Or, if you want to come up with a new tradition, maybe they liked skydiving and you're like, every single year I'm going to go skydiving in their honor. Like, fantastic. Keep up the tradition and even just create your own, create whatever will help you adjust on those days and to get through them. Because no matter what, they're going to be tough days to get through, and they're going to come with more emotion, and that's okay. And, if you're not even in the place to plan things to honor them, and you're just like, that's just not where I'm at, but like you feel okay on where you are at in your grief journey, do what feels right for you. If that's painting to get your emotions out and to just let them pour onto the paper, or if it's drawing or writing. For me, I really like to journal. I like to write it all out and get it out of my head and onto a piece of paper. I haven't really done that on special dates or anything like that, because like I said, I like to do something outside of my house, venturing out and kind of honoring my brother. But if that works for you, do what feels right. I'm not saying you have to do these other things because so many other people do them, but kind of figure out what works for you and how to actually process these dates and to walk through them, and not to look at them like you have to fear the dates or be more anxious or brace yourself. I'm just coming from my own experience of knowing that I have braced myself before, and I just don't want other people to have that same feeling. So I'm just kind of sharing this just to avoid that, really, plan something that will help you through these dates and them not be, hopefully, not as heavy as we anticipate for them to be. And that even goes for anniversaries. If it was your spouse and they're not here anymore and you have that other date of an anniversary, I've heard some people, they do still honor. Maybe you want to go to their gravesite, or maybe you just want to take yourself out to dinner or go with a friend or something like that, just to kind of give yourself ideas and come up with what will work for you and what would make your day a little special in a good way. And one tip even to throw out there during these special dates and harder times is to just reach out to friends or family. And if you need that extra support, be honest about it. Let them know, hey, I'm coming up on this date and, I would like it if you XYZ, or hey, would you better support me in this, or would you join me? Reach out and let people know where you're at and how you feel, and get that extra support, because you don't want to do this alone either. You don't want to just try to figure it out yourself and by yourself. It's so much better when we have our community and we have others to support us and that love us, that surround us, especially during those hard times. Big hugs and much love to anyone that is having those dates come up around this recording. And if you're listening to this and you have some special dates that are coming up, or even the holidays, I know the holidays can be tough for some people. And, that's usually when family gets together and reminisces and tells about different things and different stories from what has happened or new things that are coming up. And holidays could be really rough when you have lost a loved one. So extra love to anybody that has those special dates that are coming up. Big hugs to you guys. And, if you're listening and you have some different ideas or you have some input, because again, I probably say this on every single episode, as I don't know everything. I'm just coming from my own experience through my grief journey and sharing it with you guys. But this is a community. I think we should all kind of share and give our input. So if you have different ideas or you cope in a different way that I didn't mention, share it, because somebody else might think that that's a fantastic idea and it would work for them. Because just because I do something a certain way, or your friend does something a certain way, or your family member does something a certain way, doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So try out different things and figure out what works for you. and share with everybody what you do. Or if you just want to share about how you honor your loved one, I'd love to read it and listen to your side of your story with your loved one. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys stick around for the other episodes. And if you haven't checked out the previous episodes, please check them out. I hope that they're helpful for you in any way or manner, or if you could help somebody else by commenting or sharing your side and your perspective in the comments, that would be incredible. Until next time.